Law 1975, Chapter 231, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the lobby of the Municipal Center, and published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year. Salute to the flag, please. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Omar, could I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Corsair?
Here.
Councilmember Menon?
Here.
Councilmember Michaels?
Present.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Here.
Councilmember Park?
Here.
Councilmember O'Leary? Here. Mayor Zinnan?
Here. I'd like to acknowledge some of the people in the audience today. Of course, Bill McClure's family's here, so thank you for being here. Very special. Assemblywoman Shama Hader is here. Say hello, Shama. Mayor Peter Rustin is here. Peter is right over here. The police chief is here. Former Councilwoman and Councilwoman-elect Lauren Dayton over here. Thanks for being here. So the first thing on the agenda tonight is recognizing our friend Bill McClure, who we miss very much. Kathy, I mean, he was quite a guy. We spent a lot of I think, Peter, you spent more years with him in these chambers than any of us. So, it was a real shock when he left us. We miss him terribly. He and I used to have some real good arguments together and more good laughs. So it's all, it's all good. So we're going to name this dais for him. I think the bronze plaque is right over there. A couple of people want to say some words here. Shama, would you like to come up? Say a few words, please.
Shama,
Assemblywoman.
do I have to give you my address, right? No? Okay. Just my name. My name is Shama Hader. I'm the Assemblywoman for District 37. Tenafly is part of my district, but more importantly, Tenafly is my hometown. I knew Bill when I was on the council and thoroughly enjoyed working with him. I think Tenafly was not just a town he worked with, it was a real commitment for him, and it showed through in all his work. But also I had another connection with Bill. We were both gardeners. So Bill would bring me hot peppers from his garden, give me tips on how to grow my peppers better. So we were constantly exchanging seeds or plants or something. He was a great guy. He will truly be missed, but we will always remember him. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Assemblywoman. Kathy, would you like to come up and say a few words, please?
No, it's me. Come on.
So tonight we have three of your daughters here, your three daughters. Two grandchildren are here, or three?
Three grandchildren.
Three grandchildren and three son-in-laws.
Yes, yeah. And so far, they're managing to keep the council chambers in order.
It's all good.
Honorable Mayor, members past and present of the governing body, honored guests, friends, colleagues, it's an honor and privilege for myself and my family to be here today. This is a tremendous honor, and thank you for your kind words, all of you, that were so eloquently spoken. Again, I appreciate this opportunity. Thank you so much for honoring him.
Okay, thank you. Would any of your family like to say anything?
Yeah. He has lots to say.
Okay. He's happy.
I think he just expressed himself.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you, thank you. Councilwoman-elect Dayton, would you like to come up to the microphone, please?
I'm going to address it to Kathy and her family. Lauren Dayton. Bill and I got to work together for many lovely years. When I came on to the council and I had my long list of to-dos, which, some of you know it, I would call Bill and say, Bill, if I want to rearrange the entirety of the downtown and change 6 streets and do this, can we do this? And he would very, very nicely say, no. So he actually guided me in this position and explained to me so much of the nuance. He made me feel welcome from day one. He was warm and jovial, and he would come to the meeting and we'd have lots of serious things to talk about, but he would lighten it with stories from home of you, Kathy, and the dogs, and your daughters. And when your daughter got pregnant, we heard about it without fail. Every picture, every movement. He was so proud of his home life, and he would warm our meetings up with those stories. He worked tirelessly for our borough. He taught us, all of us on the council who got to work with him, how to make a better community and how to really get things done, and really did spend many hours, probably I wasn't supposed to, but many hours talking with me about what ordinances we could write and what laws we could play with so that we would be safer and more equitable and fairer here in Tenafly. And no matter how outlandish my ideas were, he was very patient as an attorney, which I fully appreciated. And when I did my own research and he said, well, we're not going to do that, he always did it with respect. And he's so missed. I told Kathy this, she knows this, but Bill passed in April. And when I was walking home and I got the news, and I could not believe the news because it was so crazy. It was a very early death in COVID. I was walking and there was daffodils on my walk home. And now forever in my heart, he will be, when I see the daffodils, I will think of Bill, because that was the week. And every time it's daffodils, I write to Kathy. And I miss him. I miss him greatly. Wendy had very big shoes to fill when she came in. And I appreciate everything that he did here. And I said, and Kathy knows this, I really wanted the courtroom, and as a lawyer, I really wanted the honor of the courtroom to be named after him, because that is such an honor. But we got a plaque, and I'm very proud of that plaque. And forever, our council chambers will be the McClure chambers. So.
Mayor Rustin, would you like to come up, please?
Peter Rustin. I'd like to thank the mayor and council for recognizing the contributions Bill McClure made as borough attorney, serving Tenafly for almost 20 years. Bill was the only borough attorney I had the privilege to serve with over the 16 years I was mayor. By the time I left, Bill was one of only 2 professionals that remained for my first day in office. We can account for that for 2 reasons. First of all, he was truly dedicated to our borough, hardly ever missing a meeting, and he often took on additional tasks at little or even no additional compensation. Secondly, everybody liked Bill, and being a town attorney is not an easy job. In the case of Tenafly, Bill had to convince and sometimes cajole the mayor and 6 council persons to choose the proper and legal course 100% of the time. One example was the time Bill told a council member that what he suggested was not legal. The response was, let's do it anyway. I saw his wife, Kathy, once a year when Bill would get sworn back in and Kathy would administer the oath. At those gatherings, it was obvious what a great couple they were and what a great family man Bill was. It's a privilege and honor to witness this remembrance of Bill. And once again, I thank the mayor and council for recognizing Bill, the man, and his efforts on our behalf.
Thank you, Mayor. So we have this plaque over here, Omar,
Yes.
and we're going to mount this probably on this wall over here, unless there's any objections, because we think that's a real prominent spot. And it'll be there kind of on its own so everyone could remember. You like that, Kathy?
Beautiful.
Okay.
So much.
All right. No, of course, we all loved him, so we miss him. All right, anyone else want to make any other comments? Oh, Chief, please come to the mic. Chief Chamberlain is here.
I wasn't going to, but so Bill was the borough attorney when I became chief. He was my first borough attorney. and your journey to becoming a police chief, basically your career leading up to being chief of something is basically the experience and the training that you think you need. And then you go to some school, something, but then you get put into position, something, and then obviously you met with all the other challenges that basically are covered. And Bill was the resource. Bill was the phone call that he was the person that always answered the call, whether it was a text message or not. And he never hesitated to answer my calls. He always gave me great guidance. He always seemed like, I don't know how he was at home. Maybe he was a tyrant, but he seemed like he was always very even keeled, and he always relaxed me. He found a way of relaxing me. You probably don't know this, but in my job, of many of the things that I have to do and tend to something, one of the things has to do is the release of records. And the press and the media, they're always trying to get records something in, and rightfully so, but some of the records just something are a little overdone. And we actually had a victory, and we actually took a stance that they were not open to the public. And Bill basically, we took a victory lap, something. It was short-lived because it got very quickly overturned, but lots of times those things don't even pass. My last communication with Bill was text messages when he was in his hospital bed, and I wished him well, and he thanked me for reaching out to him, and hope you don't get upset. But whenever I do hear people that are trying to downplay the COVID virus, I mentioned Bill. I said, 61, right? Or 63? 62. I said I had a borough attorney. He was 62 years old. He was in better shape than I was. And he's one of these people that unfortunately succumbed. And I use that all the time. It's something that was not a joke. So I miss him. Wendy, you're wonderful too. But Bill, I'm thrilled the borough is doing this. And when you said the other day, you reminded me this was going on. You said, I'll have to come. I wasn't going to tell you to come, but I could not miss this. So thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
Come up, please, Susan. Susan Corrado is our Chief Financial Officer of the borough.
So I worked with Bill for 5 years straight from when I first got here. He had a tremendous amount of institutional knowledge. I know that he, was here for 18 plus years, and he never missed a meeting. He was very dedicated and loyal. So many of the things that were said previously from Lauren, Mayor Buston, and Shama, they hit home. He was committed. He was dedicated. He was a trusted colleague. You could always call him for interpretation, any consult that you needed to speak to him about. And he was professional. And I was amazed, too, that he was not only professional, but very handy. He knew how to fix computers, do everything, like a handyman, but he was really good at his job, and he knew a lot about the borough.
Thank you, Susan. Thank you. Kathy, do you want to take some photos of the bronze plaque, or
With family,
yeah, with your family, perhaps? Of course.
Thank you so much. Thank you. This is the reason for it. Get out of here.
All right. Okay, Kathy, thanks for being here with your family. Okay. All right. You're welcome. Thanks for being here. All right.
Why not?
You're welcome to stay, of course, but we're going to kind of go on to the next agenda item. All right.
Chief.
Okay. All right. See you later. Take care, guys. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Wow. It's a little strange, isn't it? Okay. We're going to move on to be considered, and then it looks like there's a fair amount of people here who may want to make public comments. So with the council's indulgence, I'm going to recommend we move, switch the administrator's report and public comment, just so we can help people with the time. All right?
Yeah.
Okay, so to be considered, the first item here is the sewer emergency and grease traps. David, can you walk us through what happened and then the proposed solution that you're working on with the borough attorney?
Sure. So let me just indulge me for a moment so I can clearly demonstrate what we faced and what we found out today as well. So Thursday evening, we had complaints of strong sewer smells along West Railroad Avenue. DPW investigated it and found that there was a section of the sewer main that was 90% to 95% packed with grease. One of our machines that would normally clear this got stuck. We determined with the borough engineer that we needed to replace the entire 300 feet of a sewer main. That was accomplished over the weekend, and it's quite costly. Between the actual contractor for the sewer work and some electrical conduits that were compromised in the interim, were about $420,000 for the construction. On top of that, we would have engineering costs that have incurred. So before you tonight will be a request for appropriating an emergency capital appropriation for $500,000. Now, we had Colliers and our DPW inspect the diner, and their grease trap was completely full and was basically just sending grease completely right into the sewer. They had somebody, they cleaned it out and they had somebody come and haul the waste away on Monday. After the new line was put in, we cameraed and jetted some of the other parts of the line. We found that there's grease infiltration significant from Clinton Avenue and a restaurant there, as well as along West Railroad Avenue and along Washington. In fact, what they found along Washington, they would put a bucket down into the manhole, and they brought up, or they had to remove 18 buckets of grease just to get that done. One of the laterals from Say Cheese, basically it was like if he was putting cheese right out into the sewer. That's how packed the grease is. In looking at this, Ruby, our health inspector, is on vacation this week, but I did communicate with her via email. And our system for inspecting grease traps specifically is completely failed. Obviously, I think she inspects them once a year. They probably get advance notice that she's coming. So the grease traps may very well be clean when she's doing her annual inspection. What we are proposing, and talking with Wendy and with the mayor, is that we improve our ordinance and tighten it up, require inspections quarterly, and require that all restaurants and establishments that would require a grease trap be cleaned monthly. And they have records. I would go a step further and require them to submit those records, but they need to have a log on file.
Cleaned by a licensed
Yes.
professional in the grease trap business.
And one of the things that we should discuss, and Wendy can guide this part of it, is whether or not we are looking to go and make those businesses that are dumping the grease responsible for a portion of this $500,000. That can get a little complicated because the main draws from residential properties as well. But I think it's very, very important to then also empower our DPW sewer team to go in and inspect whatever they want. Because we want to do everything that we can to avoid another $500,000 emergency. And what we found at the other end of Railroad and on Washington, you have ticking time bombs ready to go off with that if we don't change course. We ought to look at the agreement we have with the health inspector. Maybe it's not enough. Maybe we need to find something different, but certainly for grease traps, it's not reliable.
So Wendy, you're drafting the changes to the ordinance. What's the timing of all this that the council will be able to read it?
So assuming that the council gives consensus, a draft of a similar ordinance that I drafted for another town was circulated, if with Dave pointing out some changes and more changes were discussed this evening about how to strengthen the oversight. So obviously this is a very costly situation that the taxpayers shouldn't have to.
And it's definitely us, right? So
It's your system. I mean, like, it's a Tenafly system.
So I guess this is somewhat what I do. And we have these issues, same things that you're talking about right now.
Mm-hmm.
And, this just happened last week on a Saturday morning at 2:00 in the morning, and my operations guy got a call. We had to call a company, and I paid for that. So are we sure? And again, it's for East Rutherford, the town of East Rutherford. It's not the business's response. Clearly,
They're responsible for cleaning their grease trap, but what was in the sewer main could be a congregation of a lot of different sources.
So you have the trunk lines that go into the individual properties, and then you have the sewer main where they all empty into.
right.
So if it's on your property, same as your home, if your sewer backs up, there's a certain part of the
line,
house
yeah.
that you're responsible for. And then when it touches the town system where everyone else is feeding into, the borough would take the responsibility because we don't want to risk somebody else making that.
So yes, I'm a huge, again, clearly our town and our residents are not doing this. So we have to make sure that, again, we're tracking appropriately.
So-
funded appropriately.
So if
This
everyone's
should not
comfortable,
happen
we can
ever
have
again.
introduction next Tuesday and adoption before the end of the year.
Jonathan, Benu, did you have your hand up? Or Dan did? So John and Dan.
Is this at all an insurable event?
Yeah.
For the borough? Or should we require that the businesses not only conduct, whether it's monthly or quarterly cleanings, they also carry insurance for this type of event?
Well, so when we strengthen the ordinance and we have the inspections, it'll be easier to attribute who is non-compliant. And if they have their own insurance to cover the cost, that's on them,
So
but
we
we would be
require
going
the
after,
insurance.
we would be going after them regardless. Whether they have insurance, it would behoove them to have insurance if it's possible, but our recourse would be to go after the.
Well, it's like operating an automobile, like, if I have insurance, for me, required by state to have insurance. Why wouldn't we require them to? Because you don't want to go out and immediately bankrupt your businesses, right? I mean, that's the read-through here, is you can't go after them for, 200 grand doesn't make a big difference. If we require them to carry an insurance policy sufficient for an event like this, I think it would be smart for us to put it in there.
So we'll look at that question. Yeah, we'll get that answer.
So one more thing, is there's also violations that are currently in your code that we can speak with our code enforcement on that would provide for, it's not gonna be 500,000, but there is up to $5,000 violation fee for folks that don't have their records maintained, or if an inspection is made now where the track was not functioning.
Dan, then Benu, please.
And our health officer is on a contract with Mid-Bergen Regional, I think.
Yes,
And
she's here 2 to 3 days.
do they have these type of issues pop up other places?
I can look into that. I don't.
Recommendations.
I don't want to set the frame that she did.
No, just recommendations from that,
Yeah.
because it's a bigger group.
The basic, the operating rules aren't strong enough.
I mean, I can tell you, obviously, the ordinance that I had Dave circulate was one that I drafted for another town. So yes, this happens other places.
Benu, you had a question, please.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I guess is, how do you, they're responsible, or they're the ones who put the grease in, but how do you attribute how much and, that sort of
Well,
thing?
I would say that if we get into the specifics on on taking action against any owners of restaurants or operators, that we should do that in closed session?
I mean, this would be going forward, not for what,
Backwards is hard.
not
no?
backwards. That's what I was
So
saying.
for going forward, the intent is to strengthen the ordinance with the inspection so that you would
Right.
have a better log of who is actually maintaining their system.
Right.
So in other words, part of that process is, so restaurants would have to clean their grease traps a minimum of once a month with a licensed, licensed company,
Right.
have receipts available. I mean, literally it comes down to on a clipboard in the restaurant that the inspector can come see. We can call the company to make sure it was done, all that sort of thing, and then we'll inspect it quarterly.
No, I mean, as you know, I mean, I had a restaurant and
Of course.
we,
I went
you
through the
know,
same thing.
had to have the grease trap there and have it cleaned regularly. You know, so I know that, but the thing is, you know, once it's in the grease trap on the premises, that gets cleaned, or they can clean that. But how do you identify when, you know, when it goes into the system?
That's a good technical DPW
Yeah, exactly.
question that we'll have to get answered, right?
I guess to follow on that, you can make the description of, you know, drugs that were in the paint. Is the grease trap inspection limited on the premises, or can we require that it go through the trunk? Right, so that, to answer your question about description of, you know, contribution, I'd like to know in advance if there's, you know, you can clean the trap, that's wonderful, but if stuff got through the trap, it's accumulating further down your individual slope, that's when they're gonna identify it's you that's the contributor.
We could camera it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
If the camera through, I think we feel better.
Yeah, the DPW can see what's under
And they
there.
have the camera equipment, so yeah, that would.
Our
our
DPW.
We bought it a few years back.
I'd rather have it done outside of the DPW. Grease trap cleaners, and they also provide that service. Then it doesn't
That's a
become
different,
our
it's
Yeah.
a different service.
I don't know that we would want those outside folks into our sewer main.
Let's look at doing that evaluation periodically as well, see what we can figure out.
Okay. And
Dr. Joy.
No, I just wanted to say that, you know, I am the liaison for the Board of Health. I do know that Ruby, the health inspector, is she's at all these places anyway, like she's very, very thorough. So if this was another piece of the puzzle, I hear what John's saying about that extra thing about where the grease goes, but I know she could at minimum, you know, inspect the grease trap because she's there doing it anyway for everything else. Right? Yeah.
So we have consensus to move forward with this,
For
with
sure.
the goal being that when you'll distribute draft ordinances to the council for us to pass for the first time next Tuesday. Okay?
Just a follow-up question. How
Yeah.
often are we doing these camera inspections? Because I remember we got
They
it
just did
for,
it today.
no, for like the rest of the downtown where the other restaurants are.
I think the camera inspections are something that we may spearhead, maybe do anew. Because the cost of doing that is, we already own the equipment, and obviously the prevention of this
It's
is going to
better
be well
than-
worth, even if we had to pay overtime.
Correct,
to be
correct.
done.
This is way,
So I think
proactive
we
on
would do
this is
this at
better.
least on a monthly basis.
because you go up Piermont, there's restaurants
Yeah.
Yes.
on
Yeah.
County.
Yeah, and basically, to clarify, a lot of folks think that if it's not an establishment that's frying or cooking, they don't need a grease trap. They do, because if they're doing any commercial dishwashing, that requires a grease
Yeah.
trap, because there's
Right.
grease that gets generated from washing dishes.
Wow.
So, it's something that we have to, focus on. And the other thing I would mention is that our infrastructure is very old. Mike Cassidy told me that down in one of the manholes, there's a date of 1925. So,
There's a 100-year-old clay sewer line.
yeah.
Wow.
Borough got its money's worth, 100 years.
Yeah.
It may also be worth for capital purposes to have these camera, these videos done, because there are instances without a sewer grease trap issue, the sewer can fail after that age.
Yeah, and this would identify that. And there's a couple of areas that they already have found that we will have to talk about in the 2025 capital plan.
Okay. Shared services opportunities?
Yes. So in my report, I talked about, and I emailed the council about this, some opportunities for shared services. In 2025, as many of you know, the budgetary situation is going to be very tight. And we're going to have to make some harsh decisions, some hard decisions. So what I was looking at is, an opportunity, A, for us to provide a service and get revenue. And on the other end, find a host community that will host some of our services and significantly cut out the carrying cost of personnel and health benefits, et cetera. So, a police dispatch we talked about last year, I think it's worth revisiting. I know we had talked to the chief about looking for a smaller town to provide services for. I think we press on that again. Or if that doesn't happen, then we really seriously ought to look at contracting with someone to dispatch for us. Fire prevention, is run by 2 part-time inspectors, but a full-time administrative clerk. So, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Dan had responded back about maybe we should be offering the services to others, so we can take a look at it both ways. On a good note, John Sullivan has done some legwork with senior transportation to some other communities that may be interested in paying for our service.
Good.
In fact, he contacted me today, and the mayor of Demorest is going to be contacting you about what we can provide for them.
Well, now that we've got the court deal done.
Yeah, yeah.
Said not a conflict in previous conversations about requiring incremental transport vehicles on the basis of in-town demand. How do you stretch that?
Well, primarily it's in-town demand, and we would have to see what their demand is and whether we can accommodate it.
Right now, it's pretty full up, right?
Yeah, but, hopefully we'll get the additional vehicle, he has drivers lined up. It's just the way that we would then generate revenue back to the town.
Right, we've never done a study to say, okay, incrementally, how much more can we take on? We've never done that.
With recreation, we have been providing services to residents of Alpine with no financial support from the borough of Alpine. It's been said that there was a handshake agreement years ago, but it really should become a formalized shared service.
But wait a minute, if there's membership fees, they have the people, the families have to pay.
Well, they're paying their membership fees,
Okay.
but our program is being charged to utilize the Alpine schools for basketball. And in reality, they should be paying the borough to allow their residents to utilize our services. Yeah.
I see what you're saying, right.
So.
For the administrative overhead and everything.
And it could be nominal, but at the very least, they should be providing us with a certificate of insurance. So Alpine is on the hook if their residents get injured.
Okay, yeah.
And some
And
things.
let's be clear, we've already seen this. All they do is raise us through the nose every time we're using those basketball courts. And oh, by the way, they make it as difficult as humanly possible when we ask for those spaces.
So what are you going to do? Have more details to come on this?
Yes, yes. And basically what I'm looking for tonight is if the council is interested in having me explore further, if there's any area that I've mentioned that you absolutely don't want to consider, let me know that so we don't spend.
Everything should be on the table.
Okay, all
Sounds
right.
like-
In my written report, I said Presto, but it is out.
All right, so that's a go ahead. Okay, so we're going to switch administrators report and go to public comment now. Audience members wishing to speak will have a 3-minute time limit to address the governing body, items of the governing body on items on or off the agenda. Large groups are asked to have a spokesperson represent them. Anybody like to speak tonight? Yes, Lauren, come up and tell us your name. No addresses anymore. New rule.
Hi, everyone. Lauren Dayton. First, David, I've been asking for someone to take a look at that Alpine rec agreement forever, so thank you for that. But I'm actually here to talk about a senior services grant that we have the opportunity to apply for. David and I have been discussing it. It is a really unique opportunity. We have 2 amazing senior service options here. We have the very active senior center, and then we have the senior services for more homebound or differently abled, or Alzheimer's dementia residents. We have, over the past couple of years, been really doing an analysis of what the borough can provide, the county, the state, and where are the gaps in the care. This is a national grant opportunity that fills in every gap we have identified. What they would like to do is have the borough create a volunteer-based program, and it can be anywhere between $30,000 to $200,000 of reimbursed fees. We have come up with 8 areas that we want to focus on. I won't go through all the details, but basically simple things, making sure smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors are up to date. Some residents can't reach them. Meal services, Door-to-door transport, right now, we have a senior van, but many of our homebound can't get themselves to the van to make the appointments. So this would be an escort from the door to the door and back. We have handyman services for grab bars, safety measures, things that keep residents in their home independently. The Tenafly Nature Center has a focus on loneliness, where they're making programs where seniors can come, socialize, be educated, do something environmental, give back. So the grant encompasses all of these elements. Tonight, in David's request, there will be the opportunity for us to say yes or no to go forward on the grant. It's due December 11th. It is a matching grant up to 25%. So I think if we ask for 30,000 for volunteer services, which by the way, I don't even think will cost that, we are what, 7,000?
That would be 75.
7,500 in our budget. We do have to decide this by December 11th, so I'm coming here to advocate. Both Risa Agin-Levin, who is our Senior Services Coordinator, and Michelle Houch are very excited about this opportunity. We've never applied for this before, and apparently a lot of communities get it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Tom, come up to the microphone and give us your name, please.
Tom Giordano, good evening. On the town's agenda on the website, unless I missed it, you have the resolutions listed. Is there any way you could have more detail about the resolutions? So we know, like, for example, there's 2 resolutions for change order for Tenafly Swim Club. If you go on, unless I missed it, you go on the town's website, there's no more explanation of what these resolutions are.
How does that work, Omar?
It's just the agenda that's posted on the website. If the governing body would like the resolutions placed on the website, that shouldn't be an issue.
So it's up to the governing body? Does
Yeah.
anybody, you have any issues with that?
If we do post the resolutions, they need to be clearly marked as draft, so they don't get misunderstood as if it were adopted as such.
Correct, yes. The liability of putting them on the website ahead of a meeting is that oftentimes things change. Resolutions get pulled off, resolutions are pulled on. Under the Open Public Meetings Act, the requirement is to post the agenda to the extent known, 48 hours before a meeting. But obviously, sometimes that changes, such as with the sewer emergency. That's something that was not on the agenda when it was posted last week.
So if we post the full resolutions, do we have that 48-hour minimum also?
It would be posted with the agenda that goes to the extent known, right? So it would all be in one place.
Both marked as draft agenda, draft ordinance.
Yeah.
Do you have any issues with it? Are there any like logistical issues? Council have any issues with this?
Yeah, it's the contractor was originally on a contract for where it's called.
What'd you say?
Tenafly.
No issues.
But certainly during public comment, there's an opportunity, if you have questions about a resolution that's listed on the agenda and you want more information, you could always ask about it during public comment, which happens before action is taken.
Right, okay, thank you.
But so the answer to your question is, yes, we can do that.
I'd appreciate that. Make sure-
Okay, all right. So Omar, let's tee that up.
And a couple of things. I have a problem with CSX. They own the railroad tracks in town. The entire length needs to be cleaned up. It's a disgrace.
Yep.
If it was a homeowner, they would get violation notices. Especially from West Clinton Avenue to Westervelt, there's dead trees. You can't even walk 10 feet. It's, from Ragweed on, it's bad for people. Also, a number of years ago, don't know the years, the Central Avenue crossing was redone. They just did the River Edge crossing. There's piles of stone, there's railroad metal, there's wooden ties, there's metal rails. On both, they're sitting there. It looks horrible.
We communicate with CSX on a regular basis.
Okay.
And also, I've heard rumors of this. I can't say it's true, but occasionally our own DPW people go in to clean up to the extent they can, right? But that's
Okay.
unofficial. All right?
Gotcha.
But we do communicate with CSX regularly.
Mhm.
As a matter of fact, we had an email correspondence with them this morning on a different topic.
Okay.
So we will absolutely remind them again.
Okay, thank you. Another thing with CSX, since the train no longer runs here, other day drove by, there's approximately 25 to 30 signs that say railroad crossing. They're not needed. Is that saying what they call sign pollution? I mean, they could be taken down, whether it's we do it or CSX takes.
That
it.
we have to ask CSX about. We can't, right, we can't just take their signs down.
Off the record, if they disappear, how would they know? They're not checking.
You're not supposed to say that in a public meeting.
They're not checking for,
All right.
Also,
We will raise that issue with them, Tom.
Again, it's on CSX property down on Dean Drive. I mentioned before, one's gone. There's a huge sludge pile encased in
Yes.
stone. What is that?
We don't know what that
Is it
So
mud?
we
Is
do-
it sludge from
we actually do-
sewage?
So remember CSX, it's a railroad that runs through numerous towns. They were doing some work in Englewood, okay? And they brought whatever that material is here to their property in Tenafly as staging ground. Had a conversation with them about that. They are going to remove that material.
One of them's gone. There was two holding.
So,
them.
right, so
Okay.
they started taking it out then.
Okay, thank you.
But we knew where it came from.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks. Yes, who else would like to speak? Please. You can speak into either microphone and just give us your name. Don't give us your address, please.
Christine Cook.
Christine Cook?
Yeah. Good evening, members of Town Council and Mayor Zinna. I'm here tonight to speak about the importance of the Tenneco Swim Club and to urge the council to consider taking over it as a municipal pool. Tenneco has been an invaluable part of our family's life, and its impact extends far beyond just a place to swim. 4 years ago, when my daughter first joined the pool, she couldn't swim and nearly drowned at the start of the summer. By the end of that same summer, she was diving off the diving board with confidence. This transformation happened because the Tenneco Swim Club's dedication to teaching swimming and promoting water safety, a life skill every child needs. Beyond swimming lessons, the summer swim team has been another cornerstone for our experience. It's low maintenance for families, yet it provides kids with all the benefits of being part of a team: friendship, discipline, and fun competition. My daughter has gained confidence and lifelong memories through the swim team. This summer, I had the privilege of organizing pep rallies for the team. We partnered with local businesses like ordering pizza from neighborhood pizzerias and picking up meals from Tenafly restaurants to enjoy at the pool. These events not only built team spirit, but also support our local economy. Without the Tenafly pool, we would sadly have to join the Cresskill pool, meaning our family and many others would shift our spending to businesses there instead of supporting those in Tenafly. Perhaps the most special part of the Tenneco is the community it fosters. My 9-year-old daughter has developed unique friendships with seniors at the pool. They cheered her on at swim meets, shared stories, and even offered to teach her how to crochet. This intergenerational connection is rare and priceless, and it's something Tenneco has created organically. The Tenneco Swim Club is more than just a pool. It's a hub for learning, community, and shared experiences. By transitioning it into a municipal pool, you can ensure it continues to serve as a gathering place and a source of pride for Tenafly. Please help this special place live on for our children, our families, and our community. And my daughter is going to share something that she wrote over the weekend.
Okay, just give us your name.
Luella Chartier. Hello, my name is Luella, and I just wanted to say that during the summer, Tenneco was like my home. During the summer, when Tenneco started, I was there every day. I was playing with all my friends all day long. And when the pool shut down, I couldn't talk to anyone. And now that it's winter, I miss the pool. And next year, I will really miss it. And every day we would have swim practice, and I love the meets. The only problem with the swim practice is that we never won against Cresskill. I was also a lifeguard in training. My pool best friend Penny and I would walk around the pool and talk to the lifeguards and hang out by their table. Please keep Tenneco.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Hi, Carol, come up to the microphone. Just give us your name.
Sorry, that was a tough act to follow.
I know.
Hi, my name is Carol Silverman Hertz, Just give me a minute to put my reading glasses on. I've reached that ripe old age where I can't see without them. Good evening, everyone. Once again, my name is Carol Silverman Kurtz, and I've had the honor of serving as Tenafly Swim Club's president through 3 different board administrations. My connection to Tenafly and Tenafly runs deep. My family moved here in the late 60s, mainly for Tenafly's top-notch schools and the perks of suburban living near the city. One of the first things my parents did was hop on the wait list for Tenafly Swim Club. The summers of my youth were filled with laughter, friendship, and the simple joy of waiting in line for ice cream from the Good Humor Man. As we face new challenges, I'm here to talk to you about how we can keep the magic of Tenafly alive. Tenafly's historical significance and community engagement are as follows. Since 1963, which commemorates its founding, Tenafly Swim Club has been woven into the fabric of our town. Generations have learned to swim here, made lifelong friends, and created memories they'll cherish forever. We've partnered with local schools, synagogues, the Girl Scouts, the Tenafly Senior Center, and Tenafly Rec. Our roots run deep and our branches touch so many parts of Tenafly's life. I still remember my own children taking their first strokes in the pool, the same place where I learned to swim when I was a 3rd grader at law school. Families like mine want to see this tradition continue. We're not just talking about a pool, we're talking about a legacy of joy, safety, and community that has spanned decades. Here's a little bit of an executive summary I put together. We propose that Tenafly Swim Club transition from a private club to a municipal pool managed by the Borough of Tenafly. This move aims to preserve a cherished community hub, enhance accessibility, and ensure the club's sustainability for future generations. By making the pool public, we can tap into funding opportunities, broaden community engagement, and continue a legacy that has touched countless lives since 1963. Now, what are the benefits of transitioning to a municipal pool? Number 1, boosted accessibility. Imagine a place where every resident, regardless of background, can enjoy a swim on a hot summer day. Turning Tenafly into a public pool opens doors for families, seniors, and kids who might not have the chance before. It's not just about swimming. It's about giving everyone a spot to relax, have fun, and stay active. Number 2, unlocking funding opportunities. As a private club, we've hit some major financial roadblocks. But by becoming a municipal entity, we can access grants and funds that were previously out of reach. This means we can maintain and upgrade the facilities without consistently worrying about the next unexpected expense. Number 3, strengthening community bonds. Tenafly isn't just a pool, it's a gathering place. We've hosted the annual 5th grade graduation event for Mom and Stillman School, the Tenafly Police Department's annual pool party for TMS 6th graders who have completed the LEAD program, provided an off-site swimming component for Temple Sinai preschoolers, Camp on Israel, and Recky's Day Camp. We've been an oasis for Tenafly seniors and much more. Making Tenafly a public space amplifies its role as a community hub, fostering connections across all ages and backgrounds. Economic perks. Number 4, a thriving public pool can draw visitors from nearby areas, giving local businesses a nice little boost. Plus, we provide summer jobs for local youth, educators, and young adults, contributing to Tenafly's local economy. Number 6, promoting health and safety. Swimming is more than a pastime, it's a life skill. By expanding access, we promote physical and mental fitness and teach essential water safety to folks of all abilities. This is our proposed plan of action. Collaborating with the borough, we propose, when I say we, I mean, I wrote this, but we collective, propose working hand in hand with the town council to map out the steps needed for a smooth transition. We have already shared a number of essential financial documents, membership data, and we would like to offer operational insights and continue the dialogue with you. Exploring funding avenues. Together, we can identify grants and funding sources like Green Acres funding to support this initiative without placing undue burden on Tenafly taxpayers. Community involvement. Engaging residents in this process is crucial. We'll host town hall meetings, gather feedback, and ensure everyone's voice is heard. Maintaining experienced staff. Our dedicated team with years of experience will continue to manage day-to-day operations, ensuring continuity and quality of service. Excuse me, I have to move the pieces around. 1 second. Next steps. We'd like to schedule a joint meeting. We would love to be able to set a date to bring together the club's board, the town council, and interested residents to dive deeper into the proposal. We'd like to form a transition committee, establish a group comprising, not compromising, club representatives, council members, and community stakeholders to oversee the process. Applying for funding. Begin the application process for grants and other funding opportunities as soon as possible. In conclusion, we stand at a crossroads where we can choose to let a beloved institution fade or take bold steps to revitalize it for everyone in Tenafly. By transitioning Tenafly Swim Club into a municipal pool, we honor our past while building a brighter, more inclusive future. By embracing this opportunity, we're not just saving a pool, we're preserving a cornerstone of our community. Let's ensure that kids today and in the future have a space to splash, laugh, and build memories, just like so many of us have had the privilege to do. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Carol. Young man, you'll be the next one to speak. So come over here. Come over here. No,
Norma.
no, Norma, you're next.
Norma, you're up. They're just making a line. They're just making a line.
Right. How are you tonight?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. Just tell us your
And I
name.
won't take a lot of your time. I know it's a long
It's
and
okay.
arduous process for you to discover whether or not you think we should continue. And of course, I believe we should. I've been a member of Tenneco for a very long time. My children grew up there. My grandchildren have come, and we've loved it. And I find that swimming is one of the things that kept me strong in my life. And I think being part of it in your own town makes it so lovely. No transportation worries, and it's easy. I have gone to Cresskill, and I prefer to stay here. I do want to say one more thing. When we had our meeting here at the beginning of the fall, we had a large crowd of people. And unfortunately, this is a poor choice of time for us because most of us are preparing for Thanksgiving and we only have those today and tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people that I spoke to personally and said, "Are you coming?" said, "No, I'm sorry, I can't do that. I have to prepare." So as one small member of a large group of Tenneco lovers, we beg that you make us join you.
Thank you, Norma.
Excuse me. Excuse me. May I have your name for the record? Your name for the record, please. Okay, thank you.
Okay, step up to the microphone and give us your first and last name, please.
Good evening. My name is Ved Singh. I'm 13 years old, and I'm going to be talking about the Tenneco Pool. So the Tenneco Pool was the first place I ever learned to swim. It was about when I was 5 years old, nearly 8 years ago. And there's a bunch of swimming opportunities, not just competitive, but also uncompetitive swimming. So there's a swim team where you can learn to swim and you can compete in meets and races, and it's a lot of fun. And there's an uncompetitive swimming area where you can learn how to swim. Swimming teaches really good life skills, like someone else said. it saves lives. So most people on the swim team are committed swimmers, and they always come to every practice and meet that they can. I spend almost every day in the summer. I'm there for 3 to 4 hours after summer enrichment in the Tenafly Middle School, and it's always where I spend my afternoons. I'm always there on the first day they open and the last day they close because I want to be there. Older kids, they get job opportunities by becoming lifeguards, and then they get to earn money, and then they can have future skills that they need later in their life. Thank you for your time, and that's it.
Thank you for speaking. Thank you. You're next, Howie.
Hi, Carolyn Anger. I have this also life experience we started at Tenafly Swim Club and then migrated to Tennekill when Tenafly closed. So next summer, our family will have been members for 60 years. And I swim every day. I learned to swim at Tenafly. I mean, we're all kind of repeating the same message and plea that this is intergenerational. My mother, who's 94 and still living on Tomat Street, comes with us to the pool and enjoys watching the children. And I can't imagine this town without it. I hope that you can't either.
Okay, thank you. How you doing, Howie?
Good. Good evening.
Give us your name.
My name is Howard Seiden. I'm 61. I wish I was 13 again. Boy, what I would do to...
Tonight's the night. This is not the night for that discussion.
I would just love to be able to dive off a diving board. It's great to hear that the kids, that's where they want to be. They don't want to be roaming on the streets. They want things to do and structure. My wife grew up in the town, and so she's a lifer. Member pool club for life. It's a great place. I've even seen election time. I've told you guys before. You guys, it's a great place for you guys to electioneer when you're running for election. But everybody, all you hear is fun stories. Has anybody ever heard a bad story from the swim club? All the good stories outweigh. So we need to have some kind of swim place in town, and whether it's municipal run or another board or whatever, but it's a jewel to the town and it brings people in, and I think it's just an excellent item. I'm glad to hear about shared services, that you're looking into that. I know currently we do the 911 with Paramus. We pay Paramus to answer our 911. And County Executive Tedesco has offered the services for free. So I'd like to see Tenafly switch over to that.
We already did.
In
February.
addition, all the towns, there are many towns in our area that are already using the county for dispatch of their police, fire, and EMS. The whole Northern Valley, Closter, Demarest, Northvale, Norwood, Rockley, Harrington Park, Hallworth, and then there are even some bigger towns, Lodi, Garfield, and they even answer the 911s for Hackensack. Every town that the county has taken on, they've absorbed their dispatchers in, so people wouldn't lose jobs. So, I mean, employees would have the option whether or not they wanted to go. I believe currently the county is running 2 different dispatch centers, one in Paramus and one in Mawa. And I think they're looking at possibly a 3rd down in Lyndhurst. So there's redundancy in their system. And our police department uses the state radio system, which is on the 700 megahertz. The county system is similar, where you can keep the same equipment, you just have to reprogram. So it's a question of they can reprogram it in-house. So that would save money too. Whether the county does it or Goose Town does it or whoever. The other one other thing I wanted to just bring up, I heard you mention before about the grease and all that. Where does the Bergen County Utilities Authority, where does their jurisdiction take in on that? And do they have inspectors, or are they specialized in maybe that they can locate the source to help?
Good question.
To help go after it.
I don't know if we have the answer to that sitting here. That's a good question.
They might have grants for that.
We'll find out, yeah.
All right, I just figured I'd throw that out there for you.
Okay, thank you. And by the way, since you brought up shared services, we merged our court with Demarest. We just signed off on that last week. Will save us some money, bring us additional revenue, and save them money, so it's a good deal. I won't be running it out of here. Step up to the mic, please.
My name is Paul Donovan. My wife told me when I walked through the door, she said, "Paul, keep it short." So I will. One thing I've heard a lot of great stories from us at Tenafly. I've been a member with my family for 24 years. Been on board for a couple of terms as well, and have loved it. It's been great. What I haven't really heard is if there's a loss of the facility, no matter how it's designed as a municipal pool, it's a real loss for the middle class in town. If you think about it, there are a lot of opportunities to swim and do lots of activities year round in a variety of facilities in town or in the region, a lot. But there aren't any unique opportunities like Tenafly for folks who maybe on a limited budget, seniors, for folks who, income is not as big as others. It's a great opportunity for folks like those, like us, to enjoy. So I really encourage you to really take this seriously and look at all the opportunities, the ways to design it. Happy to help out. I know Carol certainly is happy to help out too. So thanks for your time, and hopefully we can dialogue more on this.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for your comment. Okay, after the speaker, we'll take, after your comments, we're going to take some people online who may want to make a comment, okay?
Okay, I'll keep it brief. Hi,
Okay,
I'm
take your time.
Kim Starrer Landsberg, born and raised Tenafly resident, and I just wanted to bring up a few points again about Tenafly, which we love. Tenafly has always created and continues to create great community spirit, and it provides the perfect location to develop intergenerational friendships. When I was growing up, my parents, my grandparents were at Tenafly. We were always friends with people of the older generations. People were looking out for us. And also when our children were learning how to swim, our neighbors, our friends, everybody was there. It was a very safe environment for children to grow up and feel comfortable in Tenafly. It provides a clean, fresh air environment to swim and relax. Also, another thing I wanted to bring up that no one mentioned yet, it's a wonderful place to entertain friends within the community and out-of-town friends, international guests. We had a friend here over the summer from Scotland, and she was so impressed with the pool, she didn't want to see New York City. She wanted to stay in Tenafly all day. You met her, Cal. Swimming obviously has many health benefits, and as a physician, I can attest to that. If the town does not take over Tenafly, there will be no other public place for residents to swim in Tenafly to reap these health benefits. Swim lessons to teach our children and some adults how to swim provides a very, very valuable education, and one that you can't get in the Tenafly school system. Sadly, in our extended family, we actually had a distant cousin whose child drowned because they didn't know how to swim. So for us, it's a very important and emotional issue, and it's really life-saving. There are special days like Member Appreciation Day, movie night, kids night. It provides a place for residents to see the 4th of July fireworks. These all create wonderful memories for us. And in this crazy and stressful world, I think it's so important to have a place like Tenafly where the kids can go, disconnect from their phones and computers, and just hang out with their friends and neighbors, be active, play basketball. The younger kids can go on the jungle gym, and it's a great place. I've personally enjoyed swimming at Tenafly every year of my entire life, and I hope it will continue this way for future generations. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. Thank you. Okay, well, let's see if there's anyone online who would like to make a comment. Omar, do you see any hands raised? It looks like I see some hands raised over there.
I see 3 hands raised. So
So-
Jenny Jackson would like to speak.
Yes, thank you. Hi, everyone. Um, the Tennakill Swim Club is an invaluable asset to our community. As the co-president of the Downtown Committee, the secretary of the Chamber of Commerce, and member of the Summer Concert Series Committee, I see Tennakill as an incredibly unique community resource. It's a facility that draws the members of our community together, all of Tenafly, all ages, all cultures, all schools, into a meaningful daily summer experience. There is no other physical facility in our town that serves our residents in a recreational setting in this way. This is important because it means it has growth potential to better serve more of Tenafly in more ways. Some examples of ways to engage the entire community of Tenafly at Tennakill are fundraiser events, concerts, movie nights, and markets, just some ideas. But what is remarkable is that right now we have an engaged community that is dedicated to the success of the swim club and eager to enhance its livelihood and usability. And I think that is very, very important. So please save our swim club for this summer. Thank you.
Thank you.
John Flack would like to speak.
Actually, her name is Frances Flack. She wants to say a few words about the pool.
So,
Okay, go ahead.
like, it's important because people can enjoy it. It doesn't have to be like do lessons where you have to say you're doing free play. You can just do it.
Yep. And it's got a deep end.
And it got a big deep beat up.
What else, friend?
And you can and it has a nice place where you can play with friends and siblings.
Yeah. So in conclusion, go Dolphins.
Bye, go Dolphins!
Yeah, I can go back to that. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay.
Alice Greenfield would like to speak.
Hi, everyone.
Alice?
Hi, everyone. Nice to see you all through Zoom. I just want to say, my husband and I, Keith Gold, who was also on the board a few years back, and we've been members probably for about 12, 13 years now. And the swim club really has been a saving grace in the summer. We've really enjoyed coming every summer and being there. I'm a very big avid swimmer, much like Norma and other people have spoken. And it's just something that we really enjoy being and bringing friends to. And it is really a equalizer. And I will repeat what Paul said, I think is very important, is that people of all different economic backgrounds can participate in the Tennakill Swim Club because it is affordable. And it has generally been affordable. And I think with the town taking over the club, we can make it even more affordable for those people who cannot afford, other clubs in the community. So I just wanted to mention that. Thank you so much. And I hope that we can save the pool club.
Okay, thank you for your comments. Anyone else online, Omar, who wants to speak?
I see no other hands, Mayor.
No one else online? Okay, anyone in the chambers here who'd like to make a comment? Hi.
Hi, Helen Anderson. I'm not much of a public speaker, but I feel really compelled to speak today. I've been a Tenafly resident since 2011. I have 3 children. My oldest became a Tennakill Swim Club member since 2013. Now she's a freshman in college. She learned how to swim there. She's a summer baby. We have many, many birthday parties there, supporting local vendors and so forth. But most of all, really, it was just a big sense of community. And she was able to meet other Tenafly residents who became her classmates in the middle school and in the high school. For someone who's very shy, that was very important. that she was able to meet someone outside of school and then to know someone the first day of school. I have two other kids. They're 7th and 6th graders. And they begrudgingly joined the swim team. And on Saturdays on the meets, I pull them, yank them out of bed at 8 o'clock, and they go to the meets, and they whine about it. But once they're there, they're all smiles, and it's this great sense of teammanship and meeting other people, and it's a fun and friendly, very supportive swim team that we have. And this year we had we had Elliot, Allegra, and Ellis as swim coaches, and I've known them since they were in kindergarten. And to have them as coaches for our kids was a wonderful moment to see, and they're wonderful kids. And now my boys want to be coaches, and then I think that's the legacy that we want to pass on in our town. To have that kind of memories and like aspirations for other, I hope that all the other Tenafly residents have that kind of a memory and experience like we do. And I think I think of it as our backyard oasis that I think that should be touted in our town. We can't be just a school with an amazing school, which it is an amazing school. We can't be just that linear. We have to be a wholesome, well-rounded town. And I think having the Tenafly Swim Club as a municipal pool where not only local residents can join, but other town members can join and become a more enveloped, larger community. I think that says something about how welcoming and well-rounded our town can be and should be.
Thank you. Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak on any public matter they'd like to talk about? Okay, anyone else online who looks like they want to speak? Omar?
See no hands, Mayor.
Okay, so we're going to close public comment time, so yes, of course, Howard. I didn't put the gavel down, so you're good to go.
So Reckies uses the pool now.
Correct.
And what is it going to cost the town to have to send them to another pool somewhere else? The cost of that facility plus the transportation. Because Reckies right here, they're able to walk, but somewhere else, they're going to need a bus. So that's another thing to factor in too. It's another
Okay.
kind of expense.
Thank you, Howie. All right, so we're going to close public comment time now, just so that because everyone would like to know where we are with this. The council, we're having a closed session meeting tonight. We've got some legal issues to discuss. We've got financial issues to discuss. But, my view and the council's view on this entire matter has been really, how do we make this work, right? It doesn't mean it's going to work. It just means how do we make it work? That's been the point of view. So it's been a very positive point of view as we're kind of working through all the details and the economics of it all. I think we'll come out of the closed session this evening with a much clearer sense of where we're going to go with this, okay? And then we'll keep communicating with everyone so we know what the status is.
Thank you.
Okay? Thank you. Thank you for coming out tonight. And thank you for everyone online. We appreciate your time. Thank you. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the meeting. It'll only be another hour and a half. Nobody ever stays. Okay. All right, we're gonna, in a second, we'll go to the administrator's report.
Mark. 2-minute break?
All right, we're back on the record here, Omar?
Yes.
Okay, David, could you please take us through the administrator's report, please?
Yes, I have a detailed written report that if you have any questions, you can ask me. To answer the one comment about 911 dispatching, we are moving forward with that. The chief has made arrangements to have a resolution in one of the December meetings. We're joining that on March 1st. The county dispatching. There was a request that we had from the Democratic Committee to utilize the garden room for a holiday party in December. They seek authorization from council to serve wine and beer.
I just want to interject that that opportunity is available for any political party that wants to do that, Republican, independent, or otherwise.
Or no party affiliation.
Or no party affiliation at all. Is everyone, we have a consensus to allow that?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
And the last thing that I wanted to address is the grant that Councilwoman-elect Dayton had brought up. There was an original request at $30,000. You had emailed me earlier about $50,000. So the match would be either $7,500 or $12,500, depending on the amount that we seek. I have sent this to Millennium to ask for some of their guidance as well. So I'm in touch with Vanessa, and we would have a resolution if you decide to support this for you for Tuesday, December 3rd. Sure.
Is it that we put up 30,000?
No. So the grant request would be 30,000. If it's 30,000, then your total project cost would be 37.5. Yeah, we have to put a 25% match up for what we're asking, and then if it's a $50,000 grant, your project would be $62,500. No, you're just authorizing the application for it, and then you would get, if you're awarded the grant, you would accept the grant award with all the strings that would be available. So, I mean, it is a good program. It's about allowing our seniors to age with dignity in place in the community. The deadline is December 11th, so we would have a resolution December 3rd, and we just have to act quickly to comply with their deadline.
We have a consensus for that?
Yes.
Everyone good with it? Yeah? Okay.
Okay, other than that, it's my
That's your,
There's two big things. One, if I'm reading it right, there are two brands that were very interesting. The FEMA brand, if I understand correctly, you've already put it as Resolution 513.
For the firefighters, right? Yes.
Okay, there's one other one that I thought would be really good, since we just spoke about the pool.
Right.
The local recreation grant, the DCA local recreation grant.
We apply for that every year. Yeah.
It gets us over $100,000, up to $100,000.
Yeah,
So are we applying for it this year?
we will. We just have to decide what project we're going to apply it to.
I thought it was due like
So
15th
2 years ago, we put it for the municipal field beautification.
Yeah.
This year, I believe it went towards the Little Lake project.
Yes.
So it's really up to council as to what you know, apply it to, and then we'll write the grant.
If I read it correctly.
Don't we have a list of
December
projects?
15th
It's
is, no, that's when you would have to notify Millennium of your
Yeah,
intent
that's
to
just
apply.
telling Millennium to.
The application deadline is January 31st.
Yeah.
So.
Yes, please let
Yeah,
Millennium.
it's still.
to the hard question.
Pretty quickly,
Right.
quick. So should we have the council to all, let's bring our ideas to the next council?
Yeah, so your next step would be for next Tuesday to authorize Millennium to move forward with the life plan. Then we would give them direction as to what we're.
So the answer is yes, you have to have it by Tuesday. Yes,
Right.
you have to have it by Tuesday. Your
And we
ideas.
have to say what we're about to do.
Yes.
Correct.
So let's just go through this for a minute. So the next council meeting is December 3rd.
And then December 17th. Or the 2 meetings in December.
So yeah, I think December 3rd, we should talk about
Yes.
what the 5 ideas are, narrow it down to 3.
Everyone come to the meeting with your ideas.
Don't we have a list of from the Saturday meeting? Small ones?
Yeah. we
Singles,
can-
singles,
Singles. So as long
Singles.
as it applies to this local recreation.
right, singles. I mean, the whole left half
No,
of,
it's the local recreation grant from DCA, so you could theoretically, if you were looking for the tennis courts, you could put it towards the tennis courts, you could put it towards the swimming pool as municipal operation.
Most of the time, the last times with this grant, it was from the list that Jamie Cannon had ready.
So great idea. So can you have
Right.
Jamie also bring her 3
Sure,
ideas?
sure.
there's always a list. We're always behind. There's always a list.
That's how the Tiger
There's always
case,
a
you know,
list.
because it is rec, so.
Bottom line is, we're not.
Oh,
gonna
yeah,
miss
yeah,
the grant
yeah.
opportunity that last January.
Right. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for the administrator? Okay. Before we go to the consent agenda, I just want to announce an appointment to the planning board. We have an opening, Craig Feinberg has moved out of Tenafly, so obviously he can't serve on the planning board. We thank him for his service. We're going to appoint Jordan Brink as first alternate to the planning board. So he'll get sworn in at the next planning board meeting. Okay. You got that, Omar?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, consent agenda.
Mayor.
Yes, you have a question?
Well, I wanted to pull resolution 512. This is authorized execution of developers agreement for separate vote.
Okay.
And then for 521 and 522, these are the change orders for the Tenafly Swim Club. I know that.
20 and 21.
Oh.
No, the change orders are 21 and 22.
I have 21, yeah.
I just wanted to make sure the information was correct in here, because I think it's not a resolution 319 adopted on October 22nd. I think there's a different date. I think Susan, on those resolutions with the change orders, the resolutions numbers were what? Do you remember? And the date?
For the change orders?
The change orders for the kindergarten.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, no, because it wasn't changed in the resolution. Do you know what it is?
Oh, Omar and I went off that, was 319 was changed, other resolution.
It was like 368, 3 something
I
else.
have my
Right?
lines in my office.
Okay, but just,
I'll tell you what number it was.
yeah, so
The
just
reference.
that needs to be corrected.
Referenced. Original reference.
319
I
was changed.
s-
And it
they're
wasn't
both
adopted
319.
on October 22nd.
Yeah,
I think.
I'll go back and get the number. I don't.
And Dave, actually, the question that I just, with those resolutions, that's not to do with the email you sent regarding.
No, it's not. These are.
That's going to be discussed in a different part.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's all, we took that off the agenda.
All right, so while Susan is getting that data, I'm going to do the rest of the
I mean,
resolution.
I don't know if we need to. We can still pass it.
No, we'll want to know.
Okay.
Yeah, so we'll just vote on those separately. Okay, so I'm going to ask for a motion on resolutions R24 through R24-505 through R24-511, R24-513 through R24-520, and R24-523. Could I have a second? Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels?
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Rolier?
Okay, can I get a motion on resolution R24-512? Can I have a second? Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilmember Menon?
Sorry, just want to make sure we're voting on 521 and 520.
No, 512.
512. Okay, it's no.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
I'm sorry, Councilmember Michaels?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Rolier?
Okay, thank you. So for 521 and 522, we have to wait for an answer.
Yeah.
I can give you what the copy of the change orders in your packet, but I can go over that quickly with you.
Go ahead. We're waiting for
So,
Susan.
One change order is for $6,591.79, and that was for the demolition and removal of a large concrete area that was not included in the original plans. And the second one is $16,619.58, and that is for the demolition of the second building in the back that Colliers didn't put into the plan. It's where the old pump house was.
I thought that wasn't the plan.
No, it wasn't. They didn't put it in the specs.
And then the first thing you said is
Was
that
demolition of a large concrete area that.
area like on the ground or like in this an actual like
I
a
don't
flowering
know.
pot?
I don't know that offhand. I just know, I believe it was outside of the pool area. Because the pool area was included. So I think it was something that may have been basketball. That I can.
Which is
Left side, you're facing it from the far left side.
We got rid of the concrete there on the ground.
So they demolished.
Oh,
that.
sure, because they're bringing that dog park.
It was supposed to be to that.
Is the door unlocked? It's open?
Now they're unlocked.
Okay.
Or 7-6.
So 319 is 476?
Yeah, the one that you were referring to in the resolution.
So.
The 319.
So the resolution should read.
The hyperlink.
The resolution should read, whereas resolution 24/319 says that here adopted October 22nd, 2024, it should read resolution 24-476 adopted October 22nd.
So it's 476.
Yes.
So the adoption date's correct.
Yes.
So you want me to ask for a motion as corrected
Yes.
for 521?
And 522.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Still have to approve it.
Yeah. Right. It was something that the borough engineer had approved, and I had concurred with the process that he was on schedule.
You're free to do as you please. Okay. Okay. Can I get a motion to approve resolution R24-522 as amended and R24-521 as amended?
So moved.
Could I have a second?
Second.
Omar, could you please call the roll?
Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilmember Menace?
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels?
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Roll Larry?
Yes.
Okay, we're going to move on to the public hearings. Ordinance 24-35, reappropriating American Rescue Plan obligations. Omar, could you please read the confirmation of publication of the ordinance and the title?
Sure. Ordinance number 24-35 is published in the Sunday, November 17th edition of the Record. It's an ordinance reappropriating $214,575.71, $179,197.21 proceeds of obligations and $35,378.50 from the local fiscal recovery funds, American Rescue Plan, ARP, not needed for their original purposes in order to provide for the purposes in and by the Borough of Tenafly in the County of Bergen, New Jersey.
Okay, I'd like to open the floor for any public comments on ordinance 24-35 only. Omar, is there anyone in the chambers who's looking to speak?
See no hands, Mayor?
Is there anyone online who would like to speak about this?
No hands.
No hands. We're going to close public comment time. Councilwoman Corsair, would you like to make the motion, please?
I move to pass and adopt on second and final reading ordinance 24-35, and that notice of same shall be published according to law.
Could I have a second, please?
Second.
Omar, please call the roll.
Councilmember Corsair?
Yes.
Councilman Min?
Yes.
Councilmember Michaels?
Yes.
Councilmember Dr. O'Connor?
Yes.
Councilmember Park?
Yes.
Councilmember Roll Larry?
Yes.
Does anyone have any old business?
Quick question, it's related to old business, but I noticed that the last of the chargers, they seem to be kind of ready, they're in
Yeah, I think it's
municipal.
waiting for PSE&G to connect.
Did any ETA on that? They're like, I see them there, they're not
Yeah,
green yet.
I don't have control over their schedule. So
Yeah.
We keep trying to get it moved, but we're not the applicant. It's-
No, I'm sure Green Spot's
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah.
All right.
Will we receive utilization metrics?
If they, I think Green Spot will provide that to us.
Well, because
We
this,
can look in the contract and see what you want.
we're supposed to be getting some money from them potentially. So they're going to have to provide us with reports that show us metrics. While we're on the subject of you know how where they put up the power boxes right in the front there when you come into the Borough Hall? It would be nice if we put some green planting,
Shrubbery around it.
shrubbery
I
in
see
front of
some.
it, to the extent we need to put it as far away as possible for safety reasons, to get a little shrubbery planted over there.
Okay.
The
I
high
thought the
dose.
same thing,
Yes.
actually.
Okay. He doesn't have enough to do.
Yeah, right.
Right.
They did exactly that as you remember.
We have
Mayor.
shade tree money, actually. Yeah,
But they did exactly that, as you remember, around one of the compost bins.
right. Yes.
Yeah, so they know how to obscure a box.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the November 12th, 2024 Mayor and Council meeting? Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any information on upcoming meetings? Okay, Councilman Park, you have anything to report on your committees?
I do not.
Councilman Menon?
No.
Councilwoman Dr. O'Connor?
So just wanted to give a nice report about the pumpkin smash. That was a collaboration between Tenafly Compost and the Tenafly Nature Center. We had about over 70 participants came that day to smash their pumpkins. And Tenafly Compost came and actually, took away tons and tons of smashed pumpkins right after. They set the whole thing up. So it was a great way to engage people to, visit the nature center. And as well, we're looking always for people to join Tenafly composting. I had a Board of Health meeting, and we're just reminding people about their vaccination schedules and that we're getting into the colder weather, and everyone should please keep in mind their vaccination, that there's different diseases to vaccinate against, and everyone should be very conscious of their own vaccination schedules.
Thank you. Council President Michaels.
Just want to remind everybody, 2 Saturdays from now, Saturday, December 14th, 12 o'clock, we have our Winter Wonderland. So super excited about that in Resco Park.
And next Tuesday, we're doing our Christmas tree lighting.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
We have the tree lighting on Tuesday, 6:30 in Highland Park.
Councilman Rolieri?
Just want to publicly thank our Department of Public Works for tirelessly removing more tonnage of leaves than they have previously to this date prior to. They deserve to be recognized.
Thank you for recognizing the DPW workers. Thank you.
And they're actually ahead of schedule now with the last 2 weekends.
Yeah, I saw them out on Sunday. It was nice.
Yeah, they've literally been working 7 days a week.
A grease storm, that is true. That's a good way of putting it.
Councilwoman Corsair? Okay. Could we, there's no mayor's remarks. I made the appointment earlier. So can you read the going into closed session language, please?
Resolution R24-524, at the meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, held on November 26, 2024. Be it resolved in compliance with NJSA 10:4-12, the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Tenafly are going into closed executive session to discuss the following matters: Borough property, the Tenafly Swim Club, attorney-client privilege, potential property acquisition, affordable housing updates, potential litigation, contract negotiations, DPW supervisor contract update, and personnel borough administrator. Minutes will be taken of the meeting and released to the public at the time that the matter is resolved.
Motion to go into close? Can I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, let's go into closed session, everyone, please.
Drink up, baby, down.